Hi all Muglax Lives. I think it's time to play a little Ark Extinction. Alright, so I've been hunting Sarcos for about, I don't know, 45 minutes now. I think I found 2. I'm gonna go back and see how many more I need. I'm sure this puts me to like 5. So I'll probably do this and then go hunt some more Firefingers. Because at least I know where they're at. I almost think I understand how this guy works. Or this gal, I guess. Alright, everybody, let me through. No, oh yeah, you're on. So follow. I did make some new like darts and stuff, and I did go back in and get my my old gear that I could find. Not the gear that disappeared into the ground, obviously, but all the other gear. So I do have a little bit. I have 70 corrupt hearts. I think I need 100. So we're pretty close on the corrupt hearts. I'm not worried about those. And I need 10 Firefingers. I've got 7 of those, so those are pretty good. The worst ones to get, though, are definitely the Sarco skins. Where did they go? There we go. Oh, I've got 6 Sarco skins. Look at that. I got one more than I thought I had. Oh no! What does that mean? What happened, little guy? Why did my otter just die? It's weird. Will you let me down? Somebody killed my otter and you guys stood around and did nothing. Alright, let's go. Let's go out and hunt us some Firefingers. I wish there was a way just to... they would just fly. Oop, I'm out of stamina. At least this guy's got wings, so when I walk off a cliff, he doesn't just die like my Rex and my Utranius. Whatever. Maybe I could get another one of those today. Oh, great. Now we're gonna do the I gotta stop and poop every 3 seconds. Every 3 seconds. Three more Firefingers. Alright. Hopefully this works out. I of course could use some more levels. So I probably will shoot a few things on my way over besides wyverns. Definitely annoying corrupted pteranodons because those guys just come at you. Oh, you know what? I didn't increase the gamma. There we go. I forget about that sometimes. It's probably not too bad on this map. It's the aberration map that was really bad with how dark it was. You guys seen any... See any wyverns around here? See a tupid. I see a stupid pteranodon. I see, yeah, there's one. Oh, there's two. Nice. Nice, kill that. Wow, there's a lot of stuff down here attacking me. Get that guy before he turns invisible and wanders off. Alright. Let's get this one. Nice. And then, oh man, did you go over there and eat him already? I need to find his bag. You can't just be chewing on people. And now you've eaten so much you can't even move. Hey, I'm trying to do something here. Can you move yet? Dang it, I bet you just lost us Firefinger. Get out of here. Oh no, it's right here. It's right here. Or not. That one didn't appear to drop a bag. What a shame. That was pretty high level stuff. How come I didn't get a level out of that? Oh. Oh, shoot. An enraged corrupted. What is that? That was a enraged corrupted we should probably eat this guy. And check his bag. Oh yeah, because we need those corrupted hearts. Alpha T-Rex tooth. Ow. Why would you do that? Where is my guy? Hey, buddy. I need you to land. Thank you. I need you to get out of that tree. Are you on follow? Yeah, no, you're not on follow. Could you please come down out of that tree? There you go. If something terrible comes along and eats me. Alright? Man, I thought you got corrupted hearts from eating them, not from their bags. I'm gonna have to eat them. So I can try and get the corrupted hearts because I need 70 or 30 more corrupted hearts. That's a lot. So I wanted today to kind of talk about some nice. Some local politics. Which just cracks me up. So they got this thing going, right? And dang it. I don't know what it is about this area, but stuff just vanishes sometimes. And but they've got this company, right? And they're putting in windmills, and so I don't understand the hatred for windmills. I just don't understand it. Like, I get, like, if they were seizing people's properties to put down windmills or something, why you'd be upset about windmills. But that is not the case. And so they've got these, like, farmers, right, in the area, because I live in a very rural area, and so they want to put windmills on the farmer's property. Now, it takes a lot of land for windmill. Like, they're not allowed to build. They're allowed to build one windmill on 40 acres of land. 40 acres of land is a lot. So this isn't like, we're not talking like a windmill every 2 feet or something. So one of the issues with windmills is that they're really tall, like 200 feet tall, which is pretty high. And so they oh man, I mean, this is quite a story. I've been following it for a long time now. So they're building them in the local area, and they've already built a bunch of them. And sorry, I got splashed by Dilo here. And so they want to start building them in the area I live in, which is next to the area where they already have windmills. And so we live in the middle of nowhere, and they're like, oh, windmills, they bring down your property value. I'm like, you are aware, I live less than a mile from a farm that raises cows. Like, hundreds of cows. And when they clean out the barn, it stinks here for days. And not a little stink. A lot of stink. For days. And you're telling me that a windmill that barely makes any sound and just has big spinning blades off in the distance is worse for my property value than the stinky farm. Now, I'm not saying get rid of the stinky farm. I don't have a problem with it. I've grown up here. I'm used to the smell. But that same farmer has silos. He put up several silos. They're close to the same height as windmills. Silos get up to be 120, 140, 150 feet. You know, I mean, a windmill isn't 200 feet at the post. It's 200 feet at the top of the blade when it's all the way at the top, right? And so I really, really don't understand the hatred for it. But I do understand that there's an organization that has come into the area from coal companies and has formed these concerned citizens groups. And so the concerned citizens groups have all basically taken over our local politics. Because they get paid for. I mean, they're local people, but they're funded by this coal company lawyer. Because they know who's doing it. Like, the local paper has done research, and they're like, yeah, this is the guy who funds it, and this is where he came from. And nobody cares because they hate windmills. Because I live in an area where they hate technology. They hate reading, they hate school, they hate college. Yeah, it's terrible. And which is probably one of the reasons that my previous job as a college instructor no longer exists, because I mean, they hated college so much they stopped going. And so Well, it didn't help that my boss was also kind of anti-technology. The head of our campus hated technology. The head of a college campus hated technology, and so when students would come in and they'd be like, "Ooh, I'd love to get a degree in computer programming," she'd be like, "You know, you should probably get a degree in nursing." And let me go ahead and fill you out with the information for early childhood education. Um, Stuff like that. And, but anyways, so that's kind of the area I live in. They hate any kind of technology. So one of the things that is just driving me crazy is that this concerned citizens group takes out a full page ad in the newspaper almost every week. And they were crazy before they got elected. They were suing the local groups and the local governments, and you know, you like your township boards and the zoning commission and stuff like that, because the windmill company would come in, they would fill out their applications correctly, they would go over them, and they would approve them, and then they would build a windmill. And anytime anybody had a problem with the windmill, the company would fix it. Like way more than I would expect. Someone has problems with the spinning blades at a certain time during the day, they set a timer on the windmill and it just doesn't spin at that time of day. And then that way they don't get bothered by the stuttering effect, right? Because that affects some people. That's why you see it on your video games all the time. And so I'm looking in the paper this week, and there's another full-page ad about how what has happened is the land that the company has gotten the start of approval to build on is near the airport. And so now our airport like 4 years ago, they were discussing whether or not they should shut it down completely, because the city that it's in has to foot most of the bill for the airport, and they don't feel it's worth it because there's another airport like 45 miles away. And so they figure that anybody who's going to do any business here can just come the 45 minutes. And so there was some serious talks of shutting it down, and how all the other little villages in the area aren't paying their part, and how so now this windmill company is here. We get these full page ads. They're like, they're gonna destroy the ability to use our airport, and how are all these other people gonna use it? And I'm just like, you guys were talking about, you're the same people that wanted to shut it down because it was a drain on our resources. And so the windmill company has gotten partial permit approvals. What they don't have is the tall building approval and the zoning variance to build near the airport. Now they're not building in the way of airplanes coming in, but there's a safety zone you're not supposed to be in, and so they want to build a couple of windmills inside that safety zone. Not like next to the airport, but you know, along the edges of that safety zone. And so it cracks me up. And so they're like, how dare they build blah blah blah. And so they've already got approval to put in their foundations, and so that's what they're doing. They built the roads, they're putting in the foundations, but they're still awaiting. They have not started building the towers, because they can't build the towers until they get approval from like the federal aviation and stuff like that. And so they're still, you know, working on those permits, but they have started building the stuff they're allowed to build. And every week is just this huge fit in the paper about these windmills. Yeah, it's pretty crazy here. The other the other thing that I wanted to talk about our local politics was uh, because we live in such a rural area, most people just have their own wells, and even in a town, a village, you might have your own wells, and so there isn't necessarily what they call city water, right? Most places or cities usually have their own water system that everybody's hooked up to. But in our rural area, you may be hooked up to the city's water supply, or you might have your own well and still live inside city limits. And so it wasn't too long ago that the city that I live near wasn't a city. It just recently, within the past, I don't know, 5 years, became a city. Like they voted to make themselves into a city instead of a village. And so one of the huge political argument, like every week in the paper, there'd be letters and stories about how they were yelling at each other in the council meetings and stuff, was the fact that the city and this township next to them shared the same infrastructure. And so since the city turned into a city, they now take full responsibility for the infrastructure. And so they were talking about how they were going to start laying more water pipe, and how the township nearby would have to. Oh, yay, Sarco! Give me that skin, Sarco. Give me that skin. Yes. Give me that skin. That's 7. It really sucks that this is the only place where Sarco spawn. Oh, that one didn't drop one. Oh no, it did. It did. Ow. Why did I just bleed? That's 8? 8 Sarco skins. 2 more. Woo! These skins are the worst, I tell ya. So they had a huge fight. They took each other to court. The township sued to stop the progression of the city's waterworks, and eventually the township ceased all usage of the city's waterworks. And I forget what they did to start their own, but I don't think they even started their own. There wasn't anybody in their township that needed to be on city water, or maybe the people who were on city water would just remain on city water, but the city couldn't run any more pipes through their area. And so it was just huge, like bitter back and forth, like hundreds of thousands of dollars being awarded by court cases between the two groups, and it was insane. And so now we fast forward, and the city and the township both own parts of what used to be a state-run facility. And that facility basically shut down a while ago, like a long while ago. And I mean, I think it was open when I was a kid, but it hasn't really been opened except for a few buildings for decades, right? A couple of decades at this point. And so the state wants to open a new facility, which basically the state shut down the facility, and now they want to reopen the same type of facility in the same spot, but because the buildings are in such poor disrepair, they have to tear down those buildings and start over. And so it's supposed to be like a $2.5 million job, and plus it would bring a bunch of jobs to the area and stuff like that. And so the problem is that the land is partially in the township's area and partially in the city's area, and the state said we will consider that particular plot for our facility if we can hook into city water. And so they just went right back into it, and the township, it really does not want the city to have anything to do with water in their area, and the city's like, well, we can run water, but you're gonna have to pay for part of it because it is in your area. They're like, well, we're not paying for it because it's your water. And they're like, well, I mean, I guess we can hook up to the facility, but we're not going to hook up to anything else. And the township's like, well, you're not running stuff through our land. And so then they're also like, well, they're going to put this building in our area, and you just want to run water in there because you want some of the tax benefits. And the state, of course, is like, yeah, we're not putting the facility there without connection to the city water supply. And so they've gotten to the point now where they broke ground on the new facility, and they still haven't decided whether or not they're gonna hook this thing up to the city water supply. And so this last week, the state was like, yeah, we're gonna have to put the project on hold, and we're gonna start considering other plots because we will not open this facility without a connection to city water supply. And so, yeah, they have fiddled around with their local politics, and we are not. We are very rural. I'll bet there probably isn't. I'll bet there isn't 10,000 people between the city and the township that are fighting with each other. And so they're gonna lose a massive state facility with hundreds of jobs because they couldn't quit their local politics bickering long enough to put in city water to the site so that the state could build their facility. It's just so ridiculous. It's a huge multi-page article in the paper this week about it. We're big enough that our paper has about 15 pages of news stories. Oh, nice. Nice. Oop, I didn't mean to jump off. Eat this guy. This might be it. Sarco skin. And Sarco skin. Whoops. Heck yeah, that's my 10 Sarco skins. So now I just need 2 more fire fingers. Yeah, the local politics here is something else. That city drives me crazy with their stuff because like it's suffered like every other small town in you know, the country basically has at this point. And so there are several buildings that just don't even have businesses in them on Main Street anymore. and every time somebody wants to move in, they local politic it to death. They wanted to bring in a restaurant. Someone wanted to bring in a restaurant slash microbrewery, and they were looking at like 4 or 5 different small towns because the person was originally from the area and they wanted to bring their business to the area because it was close to some of the raw ingredients they needed, and the city is close enough to, you know, major transport areas that it was viable, and so he wanted it in his hometown, and so they got all the way down to putting it in place, and then oh man, and then because they wanted to bring in a microbrewery, the city has a limit on how many bars are allowed in the city, and they are at their limit of like 8 bars. That's not just bars, that's any place that serves alcohol, so that includes restaurants. And so they wouldn't let them bring in the microbrewery because A, they would have had to given them a variance to allow more bars in the city, and a group was using an empty storefront nearby for prayer meetings, and the city has a rule that an ordinance that you can't put a bar in within 50 feet, or not 50 feet, 500 feet of a church. And so they counted the people using the storefront for prayer meetings as a church, because some of the council members didn't want another bar in the city. And they just keep doing it. They just keep doing stuff like that over and over. And it's just crazy. It's crazy to me that you would act like that. It's crazy to me that I'm gonna be stuck with freezing sounds because I froze that thing and now it's stuck on a loop. Oh, there, quit. Oh yeah? You're actually what I'm looking for, buddy. Oh man. I'm sorry. I know that's what I'm looking for, but you can't just hang out with the Gigantosaur here. Alright, now where did that bag go? Right there. Oh shoot. Okay. Let's see if we can get this bag real quick. That's 2. I need 1 more. I somehow need to get up here and get 1 more of the 2 wyverns I've already killed. Let's see if we can find... Why are there so many big dinos out here? Let's go with this one. Just go with this one. We're gonna start freezing. I can't tell if that's a bag right there. It's not. Bag? Bag? No, I don't see a bag. Okay, well, let's see if we can find... Or we'll just kill a new wyvern. Because I think that's the last bag I need right here. Okay, so that's 3 of those. So let's get back to home. And then we'll check, and then maybe next time we can summon a Titan. But yeah, it's I don't know. I saw this week like the state approved the use of recreational marijuana, right? And so now I'm not a partaker myself, but you know, whatever. And so all the little communities around here have been voting and putting in place that does not affect them. You cannot have recreational marijuana use in most of the areas around where I live here, and so once again, a large pharmaceutical marijuana company wanted to open not a dispensary, but growing facilities in the industrial park in the city that won't even allow a bar to come in. And and so they turned it down. 10 fire fingers and 10 Sarco skins. Yes, 1 artifact of chaos and 79 corrupted hearts. So I need more corrupted hearts. That is... You can calm down. Calm down. It's okay. I'm right here. Just calm down. We will head out and get you some corrupted hearts. I just need... I'm at 79, so I need 21 more corrupted hearts. But I saw this week that the town, which is in the opposite direction from the city, same distance, just opposite direction, has approved this week to open what the city refuses to open. In fact, the town talked to the microbrewery guy and tried to get him to come there, but he didn't for whatever reason. Although I think he's going to there's another city about 45, 50 miles from where I'm at that is actually pretty famous for its bars, and so I think he's going there. Yeah, I don't know, local politics is just crazy to me, because like they're all like, oh, we gotta save our town, and then things want to come in and start businesses, and they're like, my beliefs, not my laws, but my beliefs are against what you want to do. And they're not even like horrible things, they're things that are already occurring in the town. They just don't want to add new ones. I can understand, like, don't want to add a casino because there's other things that come with casinos usually. But really, you think that adding bar number 9, or it might actually be like 15, bar number 15, but that includes restaurants. So like there are restaurants that wanted to come in that couldn't come in because they serve alcohol, and the city won't change the ordinance to allow more places that serve alcohol. I don't drink, so I mean the alcohol part has no benefit to me. I just think it's a dumb rule, because people drink, and if people drink, people already drink. It's not like we live, you know, in an Amish society, or I don't know if Amish drink. I don't think they do. Or if they do, they probably don't. I don't know. I really don't know about Amish. You think I would? We have Amish that live in the area, but Yeah. Anyways, I forgot why I came out here. I came out here to get corrupted hearts. I'm gonna go find some bigger dudes to kill. Because I know some of these bigger corrupted drop hearts. So I am gonna go see about getting my hands on some hearts. So click like, subscribe to catch the next one, and I will talk to you later.